Okay, can do this again. I know everybody's wondering why I'm making this video. I'm making this video because of my absolute favoriteest cat I've ever had, which was Flower. She was a great cat. I loved her to death. She did almost anything just to make me happy. Um, she would roll on her belly and be the most cutest little thing you've ever seen. She would just roll on her belly like this and say, rub my belly. It was just amazing. She would do the most funniest things just to get me to laugh. She was awesome. And then I started, kind of thinking about, how things were when she was alive and things like that. And I started realizing that, the one thing that everybody knows, you don't really realize when an animal is alive that you don't really expect them to die. But the one thing that they teach us is how to forgive. Because they are so forgiving, they are so trusting, they are so loyal, and they pretty much trust and love with their whole heart. So for me, it was hard because not only was Flower my support, she was also my therapy. And she was the most adorablest black and white little girl I've ever seen. And once I show you a picture of her, I'll show you what I mean. Life's just a little bit harder on me right now because I have to deal with this and then I have to remember everything she taught me. And that's not even easy, but I'm at least trying to. Um, they also, she also taught me, it's okay to cry. It's okay to be upset for a little bit. It's okay to be sad for a little bit. You don't always have to be strong. You can always, she always let me, talk to her. She always just, she knew what to say. It was just her instinct. And anybody who sat here and really got to know my my Flower would know exactly what I'm saying, where I'm coming from. Because you could be in the most downest time in your life and Flower would sense it and come straight to you because that's how she's been. She's been that way for me for years. So now it's going to be a little more harder on me because I have to handle her death. And I will say this, it's not going to be an easy task, but I'm at least trying for her sake. And I know that, a lot of people are going, animals don't always do that, but it's one of those feelings, in your heart that, you know, it's really set. And that was how I really got Flower because, like I said, she came to me on my birthday and she literally followed me home. And it's before I had a fence and everything. And she would follow me all the way to the house. I didn't go, she went to Jonathan first. She took to him first. Then she came to me. And then that was it. She came in. She was happy. She enjoyed her time. She loved to play with the laser light. Oh my goodness, she would love to play with that. And then her on catnip, oh, it was so cute. And she liked to play even with strings too. Like dangling strings that happen to be around, or shoestrings. And the thing with her was she was just the most greatest, kindest, loving. I mean, she was, if you ever had a cat that knew you, or an animal that could, anytime you were in a downward spiral and you didn't want anybody but that animal, that's how close she is to me. And that's how close I am to her. And ever since then, it's been awesome with her. She was a very good character. I mean, you couldn't turn around and not be all smiles, because she would come into the room and she would have this big smile on her face. She was always happy. It didn't matter, what was going on in her world. I would open my door to go downstairs to either eat or use the bathroom or go outside. And she would just be standing there, right there at the bottom of the stairs, just looking at me, like smiling at me, just happy to see me, and everything. It was just, you could never just not be happy, because you would see that smile, and that would just be, oh my gosh, I really have to pet you, and because she was so adorable. And the one person that is taking this hardest is my son, because he was the one that got her to come to him in the beginning. So that's where we're at. And that's why it's so hard for me to be calm, and for me to be talkative, because my heart is torn. My heart is literally torn apart to the point where a piece of me went with him. And I'm trying my hardest to regain that back. And I'm just thinking of all the lessons that she gave me, and trying to, you know, put myself back to where I was, instead of being in the most depressive state that I'm in right now. Because in all out honesty, I don't feel like talking to anybody, really. I don't. I don't feel like writing. I don't feel like doing any of it. And I just, I am utterly lost because of her. But I said I was going to show you what she looks like without the glare, if I can. Well, it is kind of hard. So. But yeah, that's her right there. That was my therapy cat. Everybody loved her to death. She was the most kindest, caring little kitten, or shall I say cat. And anybody that knew her knew she was the best cat ever. And so when you knew how she was and how she carried herself around everybody that was in contact with her, how I am, which is everything she is everything that I helped her be. And plus what was already in her. So I taught her, she taught me. So, um, other thing is that when she had her kittens, at first she didn't really know what to do. Probably it was her first pregnancy. But I taught her, how to be a mom, and she was great. And I had to get rid of them because they were all boys. So, so now I don't have any descendants of hers other than her grandkids, which are Klaus, Saber, Cuddles, and Baby Boy. So they're all I got left. So I used to have them, Flower, Midnight, and Baby Girl. So now we're out of Flower, Midnight, and Baby Girl. That's why I have four now. So yeah, it's not an easy task. I only have four babies left. I do, but Jonathan has one, which is random. So technically we have Klaus, random, Klaus, Saber, Cuddles, and Baby Boy. So we actually have five left. And it's hard because, you know, my husband turned around, looked at me, and said, "Well, what about the other cats? Don't they do the same thing that Flower did?" I said, "No, they're regular, normal, average cats. They come to you when they want to. They come to you when they want attention. No, that wasn't Flower. She came to me every time. It didn't matter whether I was downstairs. It didn't matter if I was in the dining room, living room, kitchen, bathroom. It didn't matter. She was right there. And it's hard because I'm going downstairs and I'm hoping that she's there and she's not. And it kills me. And I've spent the last 2 days crying. So now I'm trying to utilize what I know in my mind and make better choices, because the way it happened was the fact that I had, Bella with me downstairs yesterday, and I was thinking, the cats aren't going to come near her at all. And she was picking up the uh, cat food that was on the floor, and I said hi to Flower, and no growl, no nothing from Bella. And she went to come to me. Flower did. She was going this way toward me, and she got a hold of her, shook her. I stopped her, blood on the walls. She got into a seizure. She broke her skin in her neck, and it was painful to watch. Was screaming, "Don't go, don't leave me." I went, Jonathan I tried to hold her while he was trying to take the blood out of her. And the first thing that she did in his arms, I know I said it was mine, but she was in mine too. Jonathan held her. She let loose one meow to say bye. She was gone. And it's, as you can tell, just the fact that I'm reliving it is even harder. So Jonathan, I didn't want to let Flower go. She was in my arms, and Jonathan kept telling me twice, "Mommy, give me Flower." I didn't want to let her go because I wanted her to live. She was so young. To have somebody so young not live her life to the fullest is heartbreaking. And it's to the point where my heart shattered. And Jonathan took her out back, as you've seen. Some of you've seen, some of you have not. But there's a cross in my backyard that has Flower's name on it. I said, I just sat there today and just started talking to her. Like she was right there, you know. I really miss her. Days like this when I'm crying, she was always right here on my lap. But yeah, sorry, I'm just still a little softy right now due to what had happened recently yesterday about this time. And I just thought that I would come on here and at least let everybody know that I'm doing okay. Still a little soft around the edges, but hopefully I'll get better. Thank you for the people who have supported me and gave me um, sorry for losses. I appreciate it.